Ladies and gentlemen, coming next to you on the stage is panel number 3. And we have a plethora of panel experts here. And the topic is employee performance management in the era of AI and big data. A very, very exciting session. And for that, we have with us a panel of experts who are going to take you through the next 50 minutes of discussion. So ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome with a big round of applause. Joining us first in this panel, can I have on stage with a big round of applause, Mr. Debashish Satapathy, CGM HR from NBCC. A big round of applause to Debashish ji. Debashish ji, welcome to the panel. Please have your seat, sir. Joining us next on the panel, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. NAKUL PATHAK, Senior Executive Director HR, IFCO India. A big round of applause to NAKUL ji. Welcome to the panel, sir. Please have your seat. Joining us next in the panel, we have Mr. Robin Scaria, CHRO from Rapipay Fintech. A big round of applause to Robin. Robin, welcome to the panel. Please have your seat. Joining next in the panel, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Santosh Kumar Rout, Group Head HR from Sorigin Services. A big round of applause to Dr. Santosh. Welcome to the panel, Doctor. Please have your seat. Joining next in the panel, ladies and gentlemen, we have Ms. Sangeeta Padhy, co-founder and director from ApMoSys Technologies. A big round of applause to Sangeeta ji. Welcome to the panel, madam. Please have your seat. And ladies and gentlemen, would like to welcome the honorable panel moderator, Mr. Arvind Srivastava, President HR, Akums Drug and Pharmaceuticals. A big round of applause to Mr. Arvind Srivastava, our moderator for this panel. So Arvind ji, all over to you and looking forward to a great session.
So good afternoon everyone. I can see that there are a few people who are out of this hall, but anyways, so let me tell you one thing which is very obvious, that the session which is immediately after this lunch, I think that is very much need to be very exciting and engaging, because very hard for those who are sitting in front of us. And believe me, I was sitting with our esteemed panelists for this session, and I can assure you with their immense knowledge, I think this will be very engaging, interacting, and very wonderful session. And I assure you that everyone would take something from this session. So, this is one. Second, the topic is that PMS in the era of AI and big data. Somehow the topic is something which is exciting and interesting for each and everyone present here and who are in HR especially. So, when we talk about PMS, I mean, earlier, if you'll see, for every HR, I mean, they can see, they can understand the pain, that it was more or less an administrative kind of job, that we have to do it. And the best part is that after all your efforts, after completing this on time, you must receive some criticism on this, that it is not fair, proper, or in a way, every employee wants it to be conducted. So, with the help of AI and big data, I think now it is becoming more transparent, more productive, and somehow AI is not limited to conduct this complete piece, but at the same time, it is something where you can plan the performance of your employee in future. So we'll not waste much time on this, and already our esteemed panel has already been introduced. And so let me start this session because we have limited time. So, as everybody is ready, and I personally want to engage everyone, the best part is that we have Debashish in the panel, and you must be knowing him, and most of them would be following him for his linkage, his experience linkage with Mahabharata stories. So I would request Debashish to start with his videos, and I will ask a simple question for this can you correlate this question with your presentation? That how do you see that? I mean, AI is helping to unlock the productivity of an employee, and by the help of automation of process, how this KRA KPI part is being attended in a way that we can freeze it or frame it in a way that it is easily to measure and it is easily to be, measured in a way that you can frame it for future for a particular department or particular person. Debashish.
Hi, good afternoon to all of you. It's really difficult to engage people post-lunch. Sometimes we call it a graveyard session. When 50% of your participants have left the hall, another 50% are inside the hall, and out of them 50% are physically here, but mentally somewhere else. Again, 50% of that is engaged towards in the WhatsApp. Talking to their friends, communicating to their friends. So very difficult to engage with the people and keep people alive inside the room. However, I'm trying to understand how to link Mahabharata to the KPI KRA of an organization. Now, before starting my session, now the question to all of you is that what is this KRA? What is the full form of KRA? जोर से और कुछ नहीं है. केआर का फुल फॉर्म की रिजल्ट एरियाज नहीं है. केआर का फुल फॉर्म मैं क्यों रखूं आपको? सो लाला पूछता है सतपति क्यों रखूं बताओ जरा. So then I write down, sir, I will be doing recruitment, performance management, training and development. अच्छी बात है. You are justifying your salary. Okay, jokes apart. So when you are talking about KRA, it has to be smart KRAs. And this KRA, KPI, performance appraisal, 360-degree appraisal, all these are not 21st century phenomena. It was there during Mahabharata time also. Right? Okay. So when in the Mahabharata war, Abhimanyu was killed. Right? When Abhimanyu was killed, then for his last rites, all the warriors came one by one. From Pandava side as well as Kaurava side. And they paid homage to his dead body. Right? And when each of them were coming, then they were throwing flowers. Then Jayadratha also came, who was responsible for restricting Pandavas to enter into the Chakravyuha. And only Abhimanyu, the teenage son, could enter into Chakravyuha. And he was the person who was restricted. So when he came to, give his flowers, then Arjun stopped him with a thundering voice. No, you cannot touch my son. If you touch my son, it will be insult for a warrior. Right? You are responsible for his death. Now he set a KRA with smart SMART on the spot itself. He said, tomorrow, by evening, you will be no more. So you will not see the sunset of tomorrow. Jayadratha, you will not see the sunset of tomorrow. So what is this KRA? It is SMART. Specific, that I will kill you. Measurable, that is you can measure whether he has been killed or not. Then SMART. SMA. A is achievable. Is it achievable for Arjun? Was he really a warrior who was capable of killing Jayadratha? Yes, achievable. What is next? R. R is realistic. Is it realistic? Yes, he has done already so many things, right? Then comes time bound. That is tomorrow before the sunset. So what I'm trying to communicate to all of you is that any KRA which doesn't matches to all the smart principles, it's not a KRA. It is just a list of the activities which we are doing in the organization. Right? So let's see the first video on KRA setting and in Mahabharata time. Friends, let me share with you one management relation from Mahabharata. Yeah. This is on smart key result areas. Yeah. The epic is, in the Mahabharata war,
Abhimanyu, the teenage son of Arjuna, was mercilessly killed by Jayadratha, Duryodhana, Dusasan, Karna, Sakuni, and other Kaurava warriors. When he was taken for his last rites, all of them came to the mortal remains of Abhimanyu to pay their last respect by offering flowers. When Jayadratha came to pay his last respect, Arjuna stopped him with a thundering voice. He said, "You will not touch my son." When Yudhishthira was about to counsel him, he said, "Don't you recognize him? He is our slave Jayadratha, whom you had freed the other day. Today, he is the cause of my son's death. If sun would not have set, I would have killed him." He went on to add, "Jayadratha, I promise that you will not see tomorrow's sunset, else I'll immolate myself." Arjun set a target for himself in front of Guru Dronacharya and other warriors. Share with you the management lesson from this epic. SMART KRA stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound key result areas. It's a framework commonly used in performance management and goal-setting processes to ensure that goals are well-defined and aligned with overall organizational objectives. Arjun, while setting a target for himself to eliminate Jayadratha, he practically set a SMART KRA for himself. Let's break down each component. Specific. Goals should be clear and specific, leaving no room for ambiguity. The more precise the goal, the easier it is to understand and work towards it. Arjun set a specific goal of eliminating Jayadratha before the next day's sunset, leaving no room for ambiguity. Measurable. Goals should be quantifiable and include criteria for measuring progress and success. This helps in tracking and evaluating performance objectively. Expected elimination of Jayadratha or else self-immolation of Arjun is measurable, which can be tracked and evaluated. Achievable. Goals should be realistic and attainable. While it's good to aim high, setting unattainable goals can lead to frustration and demotivation. Looking to the stature of Arjun, setting a target of eliminating Jayadratha before the sunset seems to be achievable. Relevant. Goals should be aligned with the broader objective of the individual, team, or organization. They should contribute to the overall success and mission. Arjun's target to eliminate Jayadratha was aligned to the broader objective of winning the war and would contribute towards the overall success and mission. Time-bound. Goals should have specific time-bound or deadline. This adds a sense of urgency and helps in prioritizing tasks. It also facilitates monitoring and evaluation. Here Arjun set a specific time of eliminating Jayadratha by next day's sunset, thereby set a specific time frame and deadline. By incorporating the SMART criteria into key result areas, organizations and individuals can create effective and actionable goals that contribute to overall success. This framework is widely used in various professional settings to enhance goal setting and performance management processes. Thank you.
Did you like it? Do I deserve a big hand from all of you? Thank you very much. So it's important for all of us to ensure that in the organization, if you're putting a KRA at this, you're setting at the beginning, which is again reviewable in every quarter, then you need to put a SMART KRA. Otherwise, it's just a list of all the routine jobs which you're doing, and it's not a SMART KRA, right? Thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you, Devashish. So well explained this SMART part, and somehow there is a term called performance management transformation to performance measurement. So somehow this has shown that through certain practices, I think how we can make this measurable and more quantified. Moving to the next, see, with the help of AI and tools and technologies, our expectation is getting something which is now not limited to that evaluating the performance of an individual, but somehow we also take care of complete life cycle of an employee. It starts with evaluating his performance during the year, plus how he will grow in future, what kind of role and responsibility we can give it to the individual. It is also an important part, and it is also one of the expectations from this artificial intelligence which we are using for our PMS system. My next question would be with Sangeeta. Sangeeta, do you think that AI and tools and technologies has changed the approach of management that how this PMS part piece should be done or should be completed?
Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible? Yes. So, employee performance management. How many of you are from HR in this room? Okay. Now, how many of you are from AI platform companies? Okay, only 2 or 3. Okay. So, there is a Gartner study. Yesterday only I was going through it. They had a survey. So around 32% of your CHROs had adopted this AI in the employee performance management system improvement. And rest 72%, I mean not rest, 72% of rest are ready to use. And I don't have the data, but I could have mailed you to this forum. So 72% of CHROs and senior HR persons, they are ready to adopt it because it is helpful. So basically, I'm not a HR person. I am a founder of the organization. My history is totally different. So I started my journey in career as a lecturer. Then I started as a piping engineer in a company. Then again, I started as a founder. I'm one of the founders of the organization ApMoSys. And ApMoSys is now having this around 1,386 resources and catering to 106 organizations. So the journey I had experienced from 3 resources to 1,386 and 1 customer to 106 active customers. So how I had experienced, because HR is my forte. As a founder, we started with 2 co-founders. So HR, finance, and BD was under me initially. Okay, so I will share my experience how this technology and AI is being used in our journey and how we are planning to do it. Okay, so you know from the as sir has mentioned that end-to-end life cycle technology can like accelerate the journey and impactfully it can get the results. So from the very beginning, it can use in the employee onboarding processes. So employee onboarding processes, these AI-based tools are used to like scan the CVs. And though I had not used any tool, but we are writing algos. AI, you must be knowing AI is nothing but algo writings. So I'm just correlating and I'm telling you. So you can like use it for scanning the CVs. Then chatbots are also there to take the first level of interviews. Right? You can do it. But at the same time, HR persons, they must be thinking how costly it is, whether their organization will allow that or not. So as I told you, only 32% are using and 72% are on the way. So hopefully your organization will be one of them. Then in the performance management, when it comes to performance management, how you are doing the performance management. Initially you used to do annually once to take the feedback. Then some companies started it like biannually. So I mean, in 6 months they used to take. But with the help of the feedback systems, continuous feedback systems, now you can take the feedback from employees every now and then. On the go, you can take the feedback. Mobiles are there. Everybody is well connected with the mobiles. So now you can take the feedback continuously so that there is a connect between your HR manager, the reporting manager, and the employee. So it helps to give the feedback instantaneously so that that fellow, if somebody is a feedback lover and ready to work on it, that fellow will definitely work on it and improve. And coming to next, there is like L&D in the panel too. There was a lot of discussion in the L&D, and I don't know whether they had met this point or not. But in the L&D also, if you can use your AI, so how you will use it? Your skills are somewhere noted down. All the employee skills are there. And if any skills are required for that particular fellow, then definitely, I will give one example. If I have some requirement in the corporate banking, and my people are there on bench, and they had worked on retail banking, so what I will do, I can just run the AI, and I can get the data who all are available for this corporate banking training. So that way, you can give the training, and skill development also can be done. Now tools are available. Your LinkedIn learning platform is there, Coursera is there, many tools are there. So people can, functional training definitely with AI, it is very helpful. But when it comes to a soft skill training or your personality grooming, I don't think AI can do a major role in that. It is the HR person who can do the enablement. So that way, now see, AI is nothing but you are developing the brain, your human brain. Now AI, now this next gen AI, next generative AI, so you are writing what it is exactly. You are writing the codes to enable that AI to think like a human brain. So that way, it will, I think, being a software organization, we are working on AI and next-gen AIs to write the test cases from the BRD. BRD is a business requirement document or any FSD, that is functional specification document. If it is there, your AI will, your algos are written, your codes are written, it will go through the BRDs and automatically test cases are getting generated. So we are a next-gen AI company, but still I can tell you that with available next-gen AIs also, this human resources that HR person's work cannot be done 100% with your AI thing. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for sharing your insight. Actually, if you'll talk about this approach of senior management team about this PMS process in the time of AI and big data, the approach has changed in a way that earlier it was limited to HR only, that HR manager has to complete this process without any kind of interferences. But you have to see that appraiser and reporting manager has to play a major role in this process. Now, the approach of senior management team is that they should be enabled with this data and process and these tools so that they can also, they can also in a position to decide that what kind of rating and what kind of evaluation of the performance of that individual is done. If you have seen earlier, if one reporting manager has rated his employee at 2, when it comes to HR, then there is a lot of difference of opinion. So now, with these tools and technology, I think we are somewhere successful to address this concern that there is a, that gap has been reduced. So approach is very clear that we have to do it, aligning each and everyone with this process, and there should not be any kind of gap when it comes to evaluation of performance of any individual. So taking it to the next level, my next question is with Santosh. Santosh, my point is that with this AI is also helping us to freeze the right KRA KPIs for an individual. Earlier, it was the major issue that once you see KRA KPI for any individual, there are a lot of disagreement that how we have given this responsibility or this objective or project or to a particular person. Now, with the help of this artificial intelligence and the data available with us, management is, or especially HR is, you know, ready to freeze those KRA, write KRA entries. So my question to you is that how do you see that this AI and automation, it is now more productive, and through this system you can take a better decision in terms of evaluating the performance of an individual?
Thank you. I think the team is there. All are available. Eyes are open. Ears are open. Anyways, I think I'll be dividing into two groups. Maybe better to have some theoretical knowledge on PMS. I think everyone is aware of this. In the morning section, I think in panel 1, Mr. Sandeep was there, who has given us the predictive analytics. Mr. Debasis, most senior person, and he has given the what exactly the KRA with the SMART goals, the definition. So I don't want to repeat all those things. Every organization, there will be some levels will be there. Leadership team will be there. There will be level 1, level 2, maybe down the line we can cascade. Now coming to, if I ask the entire forum, the focus group sitting here, if those who are in the level 1 position below the leadership team, can you raise the hands? One level down of your business head. And the people, those who are below the level 1, level 2 people? Okay. So ground reality is the measurement of your PMS in tangible figures. Normally, by end of the session, in every financial year, we come in the conclusion that, "Arey, main to itna kiya tha, mujhe to utna milna chahiye tha." Then to and fro discussions going on. These all things will be coming up. So instead of starting from the PMS, the first goal is to understand every HR person, those who are working directly with PMS or maybe analytics, they should understand about the business. The 3 fundamental things. First, economics of the business. You should understand, being an HR also, you should be understanding the economics of the business. You should understand your human capital and your financials. When financials, I'm talking about the budgets. Budgets cannot start from day 1. Budgets start from 1 year before. When you go for the, you do the budgets, you do the actuals, and you see the performance. This is regarding the business performance. Then you start for 3 years plan, business plan, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, depends upon the organization culture. So in that, we identify what are the actual targets for this year, the top line or the bottom line. So that is a major hurdle where maximum HR, they are not able to interact, or they are not able or get a chance to get interact with the business. So if you get, first point is if you can get connected with your business from day 1 in the business plan preparation, you will understand what are your target for this particular year. For example, if I go for my group company, let's assume I am aware of it is 86. 86 is the what we have to achieve. 86 crores. Now whichever the business is. So now the 86 has to be given the like SMART goals are given. The business KRS has to be prepared. Then cascading systems, blah, 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 whatever the process we have. It may be automated. We have many people, they are working in Excel, and some people, they are a transformation to the any type of HRMS tool. So the basic fundamental, after understanding the business, we should be aware what exactly the deliverables has to be taken. It is not like Mr. Debasis has clearly mentioned, measurable identification goals, which is convertible to tangible figures. If end of the year, after closing, you are giving in the system, you are putting all your KRAs and KPIs, periodical reviews, like Madam she has explained, the continuous feedback. Instead of waiting for entire one annual year to get the feedback, it is not viable actually. Every month, there should be a continuous feedback to your managers so that it is in records. And that will be helpful when you have your periodical reviews. It may be in every quarterly or maybe in H1 or H2. And finally, when the final performance is there in your annual figures. Your annual figures are something which will be showing you where you are. So it does not start from day one. You start with your review system, your 360-degree feedback, then you come to the calibration of the system with rating method or maybe any type of bell curve method. But internally, there is a management leadership team where they have to take care of what business has performed for that particular year. On that particular business performance, whatever the exact figures will be identified, those will be cascaded as a corpus fund where your development, it may be a development, it may be your incremental PLI, performance incentives, any type of developments will be there. So the basic fundamental is, whichever format you are using, it may be you are using Excel, which can be transformed to the macros, which is also very easy. And macros too, you can go for BI, business intelligence, that also you can do. Nowadays, we are coming up with the AI, from business intelligence to AI. So basically, my entire career is going to analytics, so that is the reason my major part is on the figures. Let's assume if somebody is getting a rating of 1 to 5 and maybe somebody is getting around 4 to 8. The person with 4 rating with the highest, maybe he'll be drawing somewhere around 15%, and the person with 8 will be drawing around 10%. Now the question is why? The reason because it is not only the individual performance, it is something your business performance. It has to be parallel with each other. You cannot deny that business अच्छा कर रहा है तो employee को मिलेगा, लेकिन employee अच्छा नहीं करेगा तो business कोई फायदा नहीं है. So it has to be win-win situation for both the parties, business and performance, employee performance. So coming to the area of AI, if we plan something like the open communication to the employees with the what exactly the figures, because normally we do not, maybe business or HR department or maybe entire organization, we never cascade the showcase of what exactly the targets are there. We start from KRA KPIs, review कर लिया, नहीं हुआ तो नहीं हुआ, next quarter में we'll see how to go ahead. Every quarter should be measurable. If you have something good, please disburse of whatever your incentives or whatever your plans are there. This is also a part of your retention of your employees and satisfaction. So this is what we have adopted. This is a practical things which we have adopted in our organization. And we are successful on that. Still we are learning on this part. So this is what I can contribute more on this, how to go ahead with the AI platform. Yes, one more thing. When you are going for AI platform, it is best that every employee can see the real-time achievements or maybe real-time data in their system, so that they can also know, they can have a trigger point, कि मैं कहाँ पे हूँ and where to. It is not, normally we in a layman's language we call as काम नहीं करता है यार. It is not a काम नहीं करता है. It is like improvement. That is the reason we have L&D department here. So there are improvements. Nothing like PIP, performance improvement plan. No, nothing. We have something improvements, only improvements. So those improvements also will be helpful to us when we do all these activities. So PMS is not only PMS in HR, PM is something to business, then you deliver the things and you get that whatever the payments are there. So this is what I can contribute.
Thank you, Santosh. Thank you. Thank you so much. So when we are talking about productive means that somehow we are saving our times. As Santosh has said that it engages a lot of process. I mean, once is evaluating the performance, then calibration, then bell curve, etc. So now with this tools and technology, at least we are getting the first time right thing in place. Thank you, Santosh, for your insight. To make things better, I think it is always required that you need to be innovative in all processes, HR processes, whether it is related with PMS or freezing those KRAs, KPIs of individual, or identifying the training needs of an individual. So we are blessed that we have NAKUL with us, and he will give us some insight on this, that how you would be innovative in terms of PMS process with these tools and technology. Nakul, please.
Friends, I come from an organization which is in the service of farmers. I'm working with IFCO as Senior Executive Director at its corporate office in Delhi. So we are serving the farmers, and we are fully owned by cooperatives. We are neither a PSU nor a private company. Our 100% equity is with cooperatives, and our business model is unique, where our consumers are our owners, because the members of cooperative societies are farmers, and the cooperative societies own us, and when we are into manufacturing of chemical fertilizers. So our consumers are our owners, and they are our distributors as well, because around 70–80% of the fertilizer which we produce is marketed through cooperatives only. So through farmers, we are trying to serve country, because we are trying to serve to secure food security for the country. Because without fertilizers, there will not be any agriculture and food produce. So, all policies of government can wait, but we have to feed our 140 million crore population, right? So, as far as PMS is concerned, we have kept it very, very simple, where employees, fill up their self-appraisals, and it moves. It is all through, online system to their reporting officer, and then the second level and the accepting level. But friends, this has worked for us, because consistently we are into our 57th year of incorporation, and for the year after inception, we came into production in 3–4 years. We have been making profits, and we have been paying dividend for last 52 years. And out of that, we are paying dividends, maximum dividend for last 22 years, which is 20%, allowable as per our bylaws and the Multi-State Cooperative Societies Act, which governs us. So we have for last 22 years. And when we say we are trying to help the rural India, we are trying to empower them, it's not just we say it, but we have provided for, because we are into business, we have been making profits, but sometime it may happen that there are no substantial profits, but still we will continue to give them the maximum dividend. For that we have provided sufficient funds. So no company, I think it's not easy when you are not making profits, but you are giving to your member cooperatives, societies who are our owners. So now the question was about innovation, how our PMS system has helped us. Because friends, we have been fortunate that the organization has been growing for last so many years. So there is no problem of giving promotions and promoting employees, because the organization has grown so much. We started with our plant, and then we expanded into, now we have 5 plants, and we have expanded the capacities. We have diversified. The people in urban areas know IFCO more about IFCO Tokyo General Insurance Company, ITGI. But our core business remains in the villages, because fertilizers are consumed in villages. So, that PMS thing has created a culture of innovation, because we have come up with a very big innovation. In fertilizers, of course, we have come up with nano fertilizers, where a 500 ml bottle of nano fertilizer will replace a 50 kg bag. So it's a huge innovation. We have patented it, and it is so good. It is so, environment friendly, because the traditional chemical fertilizers, the use efficiency is only 30–35%. So if we put 100 kg solid fertilizer, only 30–35 kg is taken up by the plant, and rest goes to pollute the atmosphere. Most of it goes underground and pollutes the sub-earth water, and then it volatilizes and produce greenhouse gases, and it is fixed in the soil, so the soil becomes unproductive, whereas the nano fertilizer use efficiency is more than 90%. So hardly anything is left, and you know, the fertilizer is hugely subsidized by the government. The 50 kg bag, which farmers get for 260 rupees, its actual cost is more than 2,000 rupees. But it is such a sensitive subject that, you know, successive government, they try it, but they have not been able to increase the selling price of fertilizer. But that 500 ml bottle, small bottle, costs 225 rupees. And it is without any subsidy to the, from the government. You will be surprised to know that subsidy bill of the government is keep on, you know, increasing. It was 2.5 lakh crore. So it is huge, and we don't have raw material for the fertilizers also. We get it from outside. There's no rock phosphate here. There is no sulfur. There's no potash. Everything is imported. So it's not sustainable. Our innovation of this nano fertilizer will reduce subsidy bill of the government, will make us, you know, self-sufficient in fertilizer, and it is so much good for the environment. Handling is so easy. 50 kg bag, to handle it, it requires some effort, but 500 ml small bottle, the farmer can carry it in his pocket. So our PMS system, by keeping the employees motivated, helped us in creating a culture of innovation, and that's how we have come up with this innovation.
Thank you, Nakul. Thank you. So I think innovation is possible in every area, in every field. One of the point is that I will share that we are keeping one of the KRA of each and every individual to get his reporting manager succeeded. So if he'll put that KRA in his KRA KPI, I think he or she will try to provide that support to his boss to be a successful boss, right? So this, you may take it as an innovation. My next question would be with Robin. Robin, can you tell me or share your thoughts on this, that with these tools and technology, we are getting more better PMS system. But can you think that, I mean, do you think that, I mean, it is the era where we need to redefine this complete PMS process in place, or are we satisfied with the improvement only? Robin.
Yeah, thanks, Arvind, and greetings, good afternoon. So, and I'm just going to build upon what each of my fellow panelists have just, articulated, and I think there have been quite relevant points from a domain standpoint. But when I look at AI in context, cutting across the domain, first things that I think we need to acknowledge on this as an observer of AI, I see that it's going to be an accelerator of proficiency and productivity, right? And the reason why I say this is, if you really break down AI into its architectural elements, so first of all, you will realize that it's a crawler. Crawler is fundamentally a kind of a search engine, which on a prompt basically harvests the data that you make access for it, and then it fundamentally uses regression analysis, and then it uses iterative judgmental capabilities to sort of give you a spot on and on-point report. It could be predictive, it could be descriptive, it could be, or it could be any other analytics that you could desire. Now, the reason why I shared on this is because understanding the architectural elements of AI is vital for you to really appreciate what it can actually do for you as an organization and as an employee. So if I were to delve directly onto outcomes, there are three important outcomes that this fundamentally enables. Number one is velocity of information, that is speed. Second is accuracy of information. And third is personalization of information. So allow me to just break this down. So velocity, today we are in the age of high-speed internet, of high-speed information flow, of a generation, and we largely, if I were to just cut across our organizations, deploy a large number of millennials and Gen Zs who typically seek instant information, right? They want instant feedback. If I go back to my management, my shareholders, my stakeholders, they need to know instantly how is the capability health of the organization. Are we really spending well on our capability? Typical, look at your P&L, 40% to 50% of your revenue is people cost. And if you were to really compound it from a business standpoint, are you really getting bang for the buck? And that's a typical question an investor would ask. How do you really give that information real time on a board meeting? You need to have velocity of information. You need to have insight with regard to what is your capability depth. How is your performance index looking like? How many of your high performers have actually contributed to the top line? These are vital information that typically people ask because there's a cost to the decision. And then you look at the instant gratification or the instant need of the generation that you typically deploy. They need instant information of how they are doing, right? And so you typically need to provide immediate feedback. And that's why velocity becomes very, very important as an outcome. Specific to accuracy, there's a cost to decision, right? You make a wrong decision, you provide a wrong input, there's a cost. There's a cost that impacts the organization because you could languish with a poor performer for way too long before you identify the person. Because it so may happen that your data about his performance could lie in some disparate system. Think of our systems, right? All of us come from human resources. We do not typically have our system information in one place. It's resting in Excel sheets, it's resting in somebody's laptop, it's resting on a vendor, server, it's resting on our server. And so collating all of that, getting a real-time information, typically it's a big point for a CHRO or CEO because typically there's always a time lag. So that's the velocity part, but then the point also comes in how efficient and how right is this data? Am I looking at the correct data? And that is where iterative nature of AI can actually also throw up probabilities of what is the possible outcome of the averaging of the data that you're looking at as a possible outcome. Because there could be a lot of issues with regard to the cleanliness of data, right? And by the nature of being iterative, you could again start depending upon that there's an art of possibility that there's an averaging out happening with the data. So that's one important outcome from an accuracy standpoint. And this could also start, over a time, start becoming more and more precise because the iteration nature of AI allows it to sort of, build more and more precise models and start giving you more and more accurate models with limited set of data sets, right? And of course, the caveat is how much of data do you allow it to access? Because many a times, 80% of your data lies behind firewalls of corporates and governments. So the system is actually working on its own intelligence with only 20 to 30% of data that is made available. So you need to bear that in mind. And of course, there are issues regarding GDPR and PII that you have to circumvent. But if you're talking about accuracy of data, it's also a political will of the organization to really make that information available for the crawler to go around and also give you a predictive view or a prescriptive view. So that's from an accuracy standpoint. Speaking about the third important outcome, it's personalization, right? So at this point in time, as an employee, do I know how well do I stack up against the performance standard, right? So typically, when you look at performance, it's a function of the standard of the performance, the actual performance, the gap, and the requirements that is required to intervene to ensure that the gap is fulfilled. So from all those four capability standpoint, the system has the ability, and there are systems today that provide on-time and on-prompt information. For example, if you go back to the BPO industry, there are tools that are actually monitoring the communication of the agent that's speaking on a phone, selling a product, right? So it's fundamentally looking at how fast the person is speaking. Is the English correct? Is the context correct? Is the person curt? Is the person polite? And then on point, the person is given a feedback there and there. So look at the kind of enhancement that you have on a real-time basis on the performance of the individual. And so that is hyper-personalized to the individual because the system on the back end is working on it to that velocity. So these are three broad outcomes from a construct standpoint. I think technology from an AI standpoint, Arvind, to my submission, is going to be an accelerator when all conditions are fulfilled.
Great, great. I think that improves your work, speed up your work, and that improves your accuracy also. So we are getting both qualitative and quantitative in all aspects. So we are running out of time, but one thing which need to be discussed that how this AI is helping us to provide this feedback. This PRD is very important for at the time of performance appraisal, and it is one of the concerns that how we should give constructive feedback to the employee where, I mean, he take it positively and he can improve. So on feedback, I think I would request Debashish to give some thoughts, because we are running short of time, so you have to be very crisp, and then we will go with our question and answer session.
Right. In fact, in an appraisal system, sometimes you take feedback from the subordinates only, or from the boss only, or from the peer group only. But it's important we need to get feedback from everybody. That's called 360-degree feedback. And in Mahabharata also, Dhritarashtra as a king, he was getting feedback from everybody. He got feedback from Sanjaya, he got feedback from Vidur as a subordinate. Then he got feedback from Krishna as a peer. Then he got feedback from Bhishma Pitamaha, from Krupacharya, and Dronacharya also as boss. Can I request you two people to run it? Please, video number 2. That's a feedback system, 360-degree feedback during Mahabharata times. Yeah. Number 2. Quick.
Management relation from Mahabharata. This is on 360-degree feedback and appraisal. The epic is, on several occasions, King Dhritarashtra was given feedback by charioteer Sanjaya, Minister Vidur, Lord Krishna, Bhishma Pitamaha, Guru Dronacharya, and sage Vedavyasa. For instance, when Panchal's Rajpurohit went to Dhritarashtra to ask for permission to come back and get Indraprastha, before Dhritarashtra could speak anything, Duryodhana reprimanded to the ambassador and told him that he has already broken the Ajnatavas of 1 year of Pandavas in Virat War. Hence, let them go for 12 more years of Banvas once again. Responding to him, the ambassador said, "To my surprise, this is a unique Raj Sabha where everyone has authority to speak except the king himself." In the second instance, Sanjaya as a messenger came back from Pandavas and told Dhritarashtra that the truth not spoken on time is more harmful than a lie. If you want to save the kingdom, please return Indraprastha to Pandavas. Subsequently, Vidura, the minister, also said, "You took numerous unfortunate decisions just to ensure your son be the next king of this kingdom." In the third instance, when Krishna went to Dhritarashtra as a peace ambassador, he told that if there would be a war, this gathering of warriors would be dispensed. If they will die, history will hold you responsible for the tears shed after the war. Fourthly, to avoid the war, Bhishma proposed to Dhritarashtra to give back Indraprastha to Pandavas. Dhritarashtra said, "Let me consult my son." Bhishma was quite irritated and said, "Are you the king or Duryodhana? Can you not take a single decision without asking Duryodhana, who is just a prince?" Krupacharya and Vidur also supported Bhishma. Lastly, sage Vyasa visited Dhritarashtra and said, "Do not allow the war to enter to your house. If you will do so, then I am giving you the divine power to see the destruction of your kingdom and your son."
मैंने ये परिणाम निकाला महाराज कि देर से बोला जाने वाला सत्य असत्य से अधिक हानिकारक होता है।
तो फिर सत्य बोलो संजय, मुझे सत्य सुनना आता है। क्या है तुम्हारा सत्य?
राजन, आपका कर्म आपके धर्म के मार्ग को काट रहा है। आपने अपनी आत्मा को पुत्र मोह के भाले से घायल कर दिया है। आपकी आत्मा लहूलुहान है स्वामी, उसकी सेवा कीजिए।
हम युद्ध को रोकने का प्रयत्न करें आचार्य, प्रयत्न। हम चलकर महाराज से यह निवेदन करें कि वो घड़ी भर के लिए अपने पुत्र के विषय में सोचना छोड़कर हस्तिनापुर के विषय में सोचने का कष्ट करें। पांडवों को उनका इंद्रप्रस्थ वापस कर दें।
क्या यह उचित नहीं होगा ताश्री कि हम इस विषय में दुर्योधन से भी पूछ लें?
राजा तुम हो या दुर्योधन, हस्तिनापुर की रक्षा करना तुम्हारा कर्तव्य है, तुम्हारा।
किंतु दुर्योधन हस्तिनापुर का युवराज है ताश्री।
ये किसके नीति शास्त्र में लिखा है कि युवराज की आज्ञा लिए बिना महाराज कोई निर्णय ही नहीं ले सकता?
इतिहास गंधार नरेश शकुनी से यह नहीं पूछेगा कि इन्होंने द्यूत क्रीड़ा में कपट क्यों किया था, क्योंकि वो कपट आपकी सभा में हुआ था महाराज। इतिहास युवराज दुर्योधन से भी यह नहीं पूछेगा कि इन्होंने भरत कुल वधु को भरी सभा में क्यों घसीट बुलवाया। इतिहास ये भी आप ही से पूछेगा महाराज, क्योंकि दुर्योधन आपके युवराज हैं। इतिहास दुशासन से भी यह नहीं पूछेगा कि इन्होंने दुर्योधन के कहने पर भरत कुल वधु द्रौपदी का वस्त्र हरण करने की असभ्यता क्यों दिखाई। इतिहास इसके लिए भी आप ही को दोषी, आप ही को उत्तरदायी ठहराएगा महाराज, आप ही को उत्तरदायी ठहराएगा।
मैं तुम्हारे पास एक कड़वा सत्य ही बोलने आया हूं।
आदेश दीजिए।
आदेश नहीं राजन, परामर्श, हितोपदेश। राजन, द्वार पर खड़े हुए इस महायुद्ध को भीतर आने की आज्ञा न दीजिए।
मैं तो स्वयं भी ये युद्ध नहीं चाहता ऋषिवर, किंतु क्या करूं? मेरे पुत्र मेरे वश में नहीं है।
तो ठीक है राजन, ठीक है। मैं तुम्हें दिव्य दृष्टि दिए देता हूं कि तुम स्वयं यह सर्वनाश देख सको।
Let me share with you the management lesson from this epic. 360-degree feedback is a performance evaluation method used in management and organizational development. It involves collecting feedback on an individual's performance from a variety of sources including subordinates, peers, superiors, self-assessment, customers or clients, and other stakeholders. The purpose of 360-degree feedback is to provide a comprehensive and well-rounded view of an individual's performance, behaviors, and competencies. This approach is designed to overcome the limitations of traditional performance appraisals, which often rely solely on the perspective of a reporting manager. The multiple perspectives obtained through 360-degree feedback can help in identifying strengths, weaknesses, areas of improvement, and development needs. In Mahabharata, Sanjay and Vidur as subordinates, Krishna as peer, and Bhishma, Drona, and says Vedavyasa as superiors gave 360-degree feedback to Dhritarashtra on his competencies as a king. These feedbacks played a crucial role in helping him understand the situation, make informed decisions, and ultimately influence the course of the epic. The combined 360-degree feedback from the stakeholders offered Dhritarashtra diverse perspectives, ethical guidance, and insights into the potential consequence of his decisions. Thank you.
अच्छा लगा तो ताली तो बजा दीजिए।
So, thank you so much, Devashish, for this presentation. One thing is, we are running short of time again and again. So, before concluding this session, I would tell you that in spite of that, we have AI tools, everything is in place, but somehow this human touch is required when it comes to PMS. And believe me, that till the time, once everyone is connecting with their subordinates at the time of PMS, this all AI and big data will not work for a better result.
Thank you so much, honorable panel members. And ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for this wonderful panel session here on employee performance management. And special thanks to Arvind ji for wonderfully moderating the panel. I would request the panel members to kindly be on stage, and would like to call on stage Dr. Anbuthambi Bhojarajan, Head Strategy and Partnerships from L&T EduTech, to kindly do the honors. Thank you, Doctor, for doing the honors. Welcome to the stage again. We'll start with Mr. Debashish Satapathy from NBCC. Yeah, I think sir has something to say.
Videos which I have shown to you people are there in YouTube, and I have 125 management lessons which are there from Mahabharata. I've authored over 125. These are linking it to everything in management, planning, organizing, strategizing, motivating, delegating, and everything. You just put my name in YouTube, you can get the link to see all my videos which are available there.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Mr. NAKUL PATHAK, ladies and gentlemen, Senior Executive Director HR, IFCO India. Mr. NAKUL PATHAK, Senior Executive Director HR India from IFCO India. Big round of applause to NAKUL ji as well for his wonderful contribution in the panel. Moving next to Mr. Robin Scaria from Rapipay Fintech. A big round of applause to Robin as well for his wonderful contribution in the panel. Mr. Santosh Kumar Rout from Sorigin Services. A big round of applause to Santosh ji for his wonderful contribution in the panel. Ms. Sangeeta Padhy from ApMoSys Technologies, ladies and gentlemen. A big round of applause to Ms. Sangeeta for her wonderful contribution in the panel. And now, our honorable moderator, Mr. Arvind Srivastava, President HR, Akums Drug and Pharmaceuticals. A big round of applause to Arvind ji for wonderfully moderating the panel session. I request the panel members to kindly step forward for a group photograph. And Dr. Amuthambi, if you could also join them. Can we have another round of big applause for this wonderful panel, ladies and gentlemen? Great session and wonderfully moderated by Arvind Srivastava from Akums Drugs and Pharmaceuticals. And thank you to Dr. Amuthambi from L&T EduTech for doing the honors.